Buongiorno e ciao a tutti, I'm Aaron here at 99 Problemi, and today I have a video for you on the imperativo informale, which is the form of the verb used to give commands. And I'll be talking about only informal situations, or the informal forms of the verb, the irregular forms that arise from the imperativo, and be finishing it off with the exercises at the end. Now, just a note on the imperativo, or the imperative. This is commonly incorrectly referred to as a tense, and the imperative is actually a mood. So that's a small distinction to some people, but just to be specific about it, there's one tense of the imperative, which is in Italian, which is present. Okay, so when you refer to the imperative and the different forms of the imperative, it's a mood because it's all taking place at the same time. Remember, tense has to deal with time. Okay, moving on. So here's how you form the informal forms of the imperative. We'll be looking at the different rules for the three conjugations, that is the first, second, third, aori, iori, iori conjugations. Of course, there are two kinds of iori conjugations that are often brought up in Italian, where you have to make some differentiation between all of those ISC verbs like pulire or finire. And these are the models. They're all going to mean speak, write, sleep, or clean. You notice there's an exclamation point at the end of it to show that you are commanding somebody to do that. Speak, write, sleep. And here is the stem formation. I like to look at the stem formation chopping all the way down even past the vowel stem marker there. So on all of them, you just visualize it as chopping at the last three letters of the verb in order to get your stem. And then from that, you can build. On the ISC verbs, you're going to keep the ISC in the two forms. So pulire, I'll tell you right now, is pulisci. Same thing, finire, finisci. So if you want to tell somebody to finish something, finisci. And that also reveals something about these two forms, in that when it's an irregular verb, it's going to look a lot like just the regular present tense indicative verb. So here are the endings of the two form, and you see it's a, I. Very simple, very straightforward, very clean. Keep that a, I in mind, because when you get to the formal commands in the next video, it's reversed. Instead of a, I, for the lay form, it is I, a. And if you don't know, you can watch that video. So you can see parlare becomes parla, scrivere becomes scrivi, dormire becomes dormi, and pulire becomes pulisci. Now this is if you're talking to a friend or a family member, somebody that's close to you that you've established, somebody your age, so you've established a rapport of informality with. You're going to avoid this in formal situations, like when talking to a doctor or your teacher or something, somebody where there's a distance between you. And even easier to form is the voi form, and these are the same endings that you use in the present tense. So the word, if you're just narrating something saying, okay, you guys right now are talking, parlate is the form. But if you want to command, let's say you're a teacher and you want to command your students to speak, it's parlate, cioè parlate italiano. I say often as an Italian teacher, parlate o scrivete in italiano. So anyways, those are parlate, scrivete, dormite, and pulite. And notice that in the voi form and the ISC verbs, that goes away, just like in the present tense. It's no longer pulisci, it's not puliscite, no, it's pulite, because those verbs, the ISC verbs, in the noi and voi forms, that all goes away. The noi forms, the only difference here is that instead of speak, you're saying let's speak, which is short for let us speak. So let's speak, and look, even easier, it's all iamo, and this is easy in the present tense, it's easy here. Iamo is the ending, and you just add it to the stem created previously. So you want to say let's speak, it's parliamo. Let's write, scriviamo. These are things that we say all the time. Let's write, let's sleep, dormiamo. Let's clean, puliamo. Okay, so it's really kind of a get up and go kind of exclamation there. It is a kind of command in a way, right? Because you're saying, even to yourself, when you say noi, you're saying to yourself, let's, you and I, do these things. Okay, little note here. Now you're going to have to just learn these or know them from the present tense, but if a verb is irregular in the present tense to form, it's going to be irregular in the imperative. And that sort of builds a little bit off of that slight irregularity with the IREs, the ISCs. So pulisci and finisci, they're like this too, in that it carries that irregularity in the present tense carries over to the imperative as an irregular. So you want to tell somebody to drink or to come here or to hold something or to go out. It's bevi, vieni, tieni, esci. And you may recognize those from the present tense. Even more irregular than the irregular verbs are these forms of the imperative. Take a look at andare, to go. Andare becomes vai or va in the to form of the imperative. You can use either one. I put the vai in parentheses. It looks more like the present tense. If you're saying to somebody, vai al mercato, it could be a question. Are you going to the market? But if you say va, and it's very short, and you're really saying there that va al mercato, there it really sounds like a command, right? That shortening of the vai. But you see how it comes from that present tense. And it really sounds good to use that shortened form. Dare, to give. Da, fare, to do. Fa or fai. Fai compiti, do your homework, right? Stare, to stay. Sta. And then dire, which is di, which maybe it came from dici at some point, but it often, that's not an alternative form. So, di la verità, tell the truth. Let's look at some even more irregular ones. And of course, they're the most irregular and they're the most common ones. Maybe you don't hear them all the time, but they're the essere and avere. They're the most common verbs that you use all the time. So these verbs are irregular in both the to and voi forms of the imperative. Take a look at the to form of essere. Tu si, right? Be. Si bravo, right? Be good. Si, it's held, that I is held for 2 beats. Si. The voi form, siate. Okay? Siate. Be. Pazienti. Siate pazienti. O abbi, look at avere, have. Abbi pazienza, have patience. O abbiate, in the voi form, abbiate pazienza. Alright, here are the exercises, and in this, you're just going to form the informal imperative based on whatever pronoun was given. So take a look at number 1. Lavare, you want to say wash. I don't know, lava il cane, wash the dog. Or la macchina, lava la macchina. That is lava la macchina. Alright, pause it here. Do those remaining 19, 20 exercises. And then when you're ready, unpause it, and I'll give you the answers. All right, number 2, leggere. That is leggi. I should add, you don't use the subject pronoun. That's why it's in, one of the reasons it's in parentheses. You don't use that. You just say leggi, put that exclamation point on it, really will be apparent that it is the imperative. Mettere, put to place. Tu, metti. Lavare, number 4, but this time in the voi form. Lavate. 5, noi, leggere, let's read. Leggiamo. 6, mettere, but the voi form this time. Mettete. Andare, remember, irregular here. This is va, or vai if you prefer. Telefonare. Telefonate. 9, uscire. Tu, uscire, esci. 10, finire. This is an ISC verb, so you've got to, and it's in the to form, so you got to say finisci. 11, venire, irregular, vieni. 12, irregular, venire? No, not, because it's the voi form, so it's just venite. Remember that in the noi and voi form, those irregulars often follow that boot-shaped pattern where the noi and voi are going to go back to the regular form. 13, avere, remember, very irregular. Abbi. 14, mangiare, mangia. 15, noi andiamo. Andiamo al parco. Let's go to the park. 16, bere, tu. That's bevi. 17, dire, that's di. 18, voi essere, remember that's siate. That's one of those irregular, both in the to and the voi form. 19, tu. Guardare, guarda. And 20, tu. Pagare. Like pay the bill. Paghi il conto. Okay, that's all on the topic of the imperativo informale. If you want to learn more, head on over to the website at 99problemi.com. You'll see I've put some flashcards there and some notes on the video. You can also subscribe to the channel on YouTube, 99 Problemi. You can follow me on Facebook or Twitter, all under the handle of 99 Problemi. And thanks for watching. Grazie.